What's up? What's up? What's up, people? This is C&J Wrestling Talk. I am DJ Cass. Now, I would usually have my man Jake on doing the show with me, but he is dealing with a personal issue right now, so I will be flying solo tonight. But if you guys want to try to keep me company while you're watching, we have a little group chat going on YouTube, and let me know, like, give me the comments, like, let us know how we're doing and what can we do to help make the show better? Of course, like I said, C&J Wrestling Talk. This is where we discuss the latest events in the world of wrestling, and we will be talking about Monday Night Raw. I'll be going over everything that went on, and let's go ahead and get right down to the nitty gritty. It was Monday Night Raw. We were live from Dallas, Texas, and we kicked off the show with Seth Rollins, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Big Show, Kane, and J&J Security, unfortunately. And who would have thunk it? The Authority, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H, they were not at the show. They were on vacation, for anybody who wants to get technical about it. Yeah, they were on vacation. So it looks like the director of operations, Kane, last night, he was in charge for the night. And now, my thoughts on that whole segment with the Authority, it was the same thing for anybody who actually watched SmackDown. It was the same thing that we got on SmackDown. It wasn't anything new. That was my one fault with this. It's like, I mean, like even when Randy Orton came down, I didn't agree with that. Honestly, if it was like me, I would have probably just had Seth Rollins and JJ Security come out. At least then we would have had something different. Of course, like as we got into the episode, of course, Randy Orton, he's doing his thing and he's making fun of the Authority, of course, and of course Seth Rollins. And it looks like Kane, he actually took a little bit of offense to that. And Kane said, like, I'm getting sick and tired of your BS, Randy Orton. Stop making fun of me. I'm like, Kane, Randy Orton's been disrespecting you since 2004. So, like, really, you really want to get on him about that now? And 2012, I might add. Yeah, and like I said, as we got into the segment more, Seth Rollins was talking. I like him being on the mic. He's definitely getting great on that. And like it was definitely something to behold, considering like it seems like we have ourselves some dissension between the director of operations Kane and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and of course with that, Kane made a main event. It was going to be the triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Extreme Rules. It was Randy Orton versus Ryback versus Roman Reigns. Yep, Roman Reigns, and like, and of course there was an added stipulation on. I mean, like to me, like, okay, what's the stipulation now? Like, and of course, Kane made three separate matches for the competitors. Unfortunately, we got Randy Orton versus Kane. Rabbit versus Luke Harper actually did get into. I'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. And Roman Reigns versus Big Show. By God, I'm tired of seeing that. And like I said, people leave your little comment. Talk. Let me know in the group chat. Let me know how I'm doing, and leave the comments after this video. And keep on watching this. Now, of course, we had that old schnick there, and of course, we come back from the commercial break. It was Randy Orton versus Kane. I really have nothing to say about this match. I did not like it. I mean, one, we've all seen Randy Orton versus Kane way too many times, and like I said, it just wasn't anything different. It just wasn't like nothing new out of Randy. I mean, I like how the way how Randy Orton, like the way he expands. Like, here's the thing: like when Randy Orton, when he's in the ring, it's like he can do a slow, methodical pace, but then still be a baby face at the same time. A lot of guys don't do that, and like my thing is for me, if Randy Orton can still do a methodical pace and still be the babyface at the same time without doing anything heelish, then that's great in my eyes. I mean, he's kind of like one of the guys that I've rarely seen do it. I don't think I've ever seen another guy besides maybe Bret Hart. Probably Bret Hart. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like, of course, the match ends in DQ. Kane does his little schnick, and he doesn't do anything. Like, he didn't prove nothing. Of course, Randy Orton was standing on top as usual. Now, we got back from commercial break, and of course, Kane is in the office. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We got Brad Maddox made his return last night to Raw. If he, I honestly kind of think like if he was like not like being the authorities and not being the authorities, you know what, and kissing their behind. Like I think honestly, that Seth Rollins he could have been like the greatest general manager in Raw history, next to John Laurinaitis. Yeah, we got from that. I also don't know why he was there, but like he was funny. And Randy Orton, that's not Randy Orton, Kane and Seth Rollins got into a war of words backstage, and like they got to talking. They were bickering. Seth Rollins saying like, "I don't think you need to be the director of operations anymore. Why the heck would you put me in a triple threat? Would you put me in at risk?" But all three of those competitors had extreme rules. And then Kane was like, I actually kind of like this. I'm the director of operations. I'm the boss. It's my job to put out content. It's my job to make matches for our next pay per view. So that's my job. That was actually kind of like Kane in his job form more than just being the big red machine or the big red monster, if he's even that anymore. Yeah, I gotta say, out of all the guys you probably want to cause dissension with, I think Kane is actually the good person you would want to start dissension with, considering like how long has he been the authorities' lapdog? If Kane somehow breaks away from the authority, I can honestly see Big Show going next. J&J Security, maybe, but I don't know. My thought of this is like, what's gonna happen? Like, because like I talked about this, me and Jake were talking about this the other day, like on how like what if Seth Rollins going to be as the champion once this whole authority angle is done? Because it's like to me, the authority has just been played out way too long now. I honestly thought they should have stopped this sometime, really, actually last year at Survivor Series. But yeah, moving on. And like I said, guys, I'm doing the show solo tonight. So like, leave your comments. Let me know how I'm doing. Leave your comments down there, and let me know what if I miss anything. Like, see if you guys want me to talk about something. Yeah, and as we got into Monday Night Raw, we got to Seth Rollins versus Neville. Now, I really, really enjoyed that match personally. Seth Rollins versus Adrian Neville, for people who want to get technical. Like, I honestly kind of questioned the match a bit, even though I wanted to see it, because I was thinking, why would they put Neville in a situation where he just debuted and Seth Rollins, who just became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I honestly did not want either guy to lose because it's like both those guys have momentum and they didn't need to lose. And I don't know why Seth Rollins won. I honestly thought we were gonna get some kind of DQ, so that way Neville would be safe. But honestly, since Neville got the pin already and he's only been a week here, that kind of shows on how like the WWE is booking him and what they see on him. Because okay, here's the thing. I don't see Neville main eventing a pay per view. I just don't think Neville's going to get that high. I honestly think Adrian Neville, for him, he may get as high as the Intercontinental or the U.S. title. I just don't think he's ever going to main event. That's just my personal opinion. Now, Seth Rollins, on the other hand, of course, my one gripe with Seth Rollins, I would have to say, is like, if this is the kind of reign we're going to get out of Seth Rollins as a WWE Worldwide Champion, it should be at least like a Randy Orton 2004 reign, like where he only held it for a month. Because I honestly don't see Seth Rollins holding that title for more than a month. Like I said, Neville versus Rollins, it was a great match. I enjoyed it. It was great. And like now we get onto the show a lot more. Like I said, guys, leave your comments there. Let me know if you want me to talk about something. Now, it was John Cena's next open challenge for the United States title. Of course, John Cena, he comes out, he does his little snig, the whole never give up. You can't see me, my time is now. Yeah. And of course, he made the open challenge. He made a vow that every single week he's going to do an open challenge for any person who wants an opportunity to become the United States champion. And the person who answered the challenge this week was Stardust. Stardust. I don't know like what it was, but like I just don't think Stardust was believable enough for me. Like, cause here's the thing, it's like I don't know what it was. Like I said, Dean Ambrose last week, he kind of like a bit legitimate looked like he could beat John Cena, even though I knew he wasn't gonna win. But with Stardust, it's like this guy's a jobber right now. Like, why in the world is he getting a shot at the United States title? And to be honest with you, I kind of see a trend here. Like, have you noticed like all the guys who have been thrown at John Cena were all in the Intercontinental title ladder match at WrestleMania. So we could see Luke Harper next week to answer that challenge. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Now, as we got into the United States title match, of course, the match was dominated by Cena a bit. Stardust really didn't get rolling until like the second half of the match. And I gotta say, from my point of view, it was actually a pretty solid match from Stardust standpoint, because that was the first time ever, technically, John Cena versus Stardust. And for what we got, like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every single bit of it. But my whole thing is, like, here are my thoughts on John Cena, like, being the United States champion and making open challenges every single week. Now, John Cena as the United States champion months ago, we did not picture that because, like, we were like, this guy's a 15-time world champion. There's no way he's going to be put into the mid card just like that. And lo and behold, he becomes the United States champion. And he has defended the title twice now. And it's like both his title defenses have not been that believable. Like, have they been believable enough? Because here's the thing. We all know they're trying to build prestige back to the Intercontinental and the United States Championship. John Cena, the U.S. champ, Daniel Bryan, the Intercontinental champion. I think we are slowly getting there. We are slowly getting to that process. I think WWE, I think they finally realized the fact that, like, they can't keep going to guys like John Cena and Randy Orton anymore. Because, like I said, I think all of us really know they're not getting any younger. I mean, John Cena, honestly, he's 38, I believe, and he may be out of the company within the next 2 years, maybe 3. Randy Orton, even though he's like 35 years old, he's getting up there. It's like some of these guys that they're trying to build, they're not really doing it properly. And for John Cena and Danny Bryan to be the Intercontinental United States champion, I definitely like the idea, but we've been thrown into a situation before where WWE, for some reason, they just don't follow through with it. They don't follow through with it. And I don't know what it is when it comes to WWE. When they have a plan, it looks like that they're going to follow through with it, but then all of a sudden, as soon as it doesn't work, they just like drop the gimmick. It kind of reminds me a lot when Rusev actually comes to mind, because like how they just kept building Rusev like up and up and up all year long, and for him just to get fed to John Cena back at WrestleMania, to me was a travesty. But like, I think WWE, they honestly had put John Cena on the top way too high, to the point to where like it made them impossible for guys who are actually trying to face John Cena actually be legit enough to beat John Cena. Yeah, I mean, like I said, into Daniel Bryan, the Intercontinental Championship picture, they're definitely, I think they're going to be fine with that, because the Intercontinental Championship to me has more prestige than the United States Championship, because the United States Championship debuted in 2003. The Intercontinental title has been around, I don't even know how long, but like, yeah. If WWE really wants to try to make a youth movement and keep it going forward, they really are going to have to commit. And I don't want them to back down. Like, they really cannot back down, but they really need to start building guys from NXT. And my thing on NXT, every single time we bring guys up to the main roster, I don't know what it is, but it's just there's some kind of disconnect. It's like they can be successful in NXT, get over great. To me, it's the same thing that kind of happened with Emma, and it's the same thing that happened with Adam Rose. It works on a small scale, so to speak. Like, it can like entertain like up to like 100 people, but as opposed to like 17,000, like I'm on Raw SmackDown, it just doesn't work. But for the United States and United States Championship match, like I said, I enjoyed the match. It was tolerable. Yeah, and we move on from Paige and Naomi versus the Bella Twins. What can I really say? I mean, like, it was just a standard Divas tag team match. But however, I will say that the Divas, the hashtag whole give Divas a chance thing, it has actually been working. Now, of course, that started a couple of weeks ago, when I guess some kind of fan, he chanted like, Hashtag give Divas a chance. Give Divas a chance. Like, I honestly, I'm for to give Divas a chance. And I guess Monday Night Raw last night really showed it with that tag team match because you can see they're getting longer time. They're coming back from commercial breaks while doing the matches. It was like these divas, they used to get like 6 seconds, and now they're actually getting up to like 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, like, we've been getting some good Divas Championship matches on Raw for free, I might add, for free. And, like, I'm thinking that this is going to lead to either Paige versus Naomi versus Nikki Bella in a triple threat match at Extreme Rules, or Naomi versus Nikki Bella at Extreme Rules. Either way, it's going to be either one of those two. Yeah, like I said, that match is fine. I know issues with it. Okay, now we're getting to what I thought was actually the best match of the night. Ryback versus Luke Harper, one of the matches that the director of operations, as the director of operations, it is my duty to make Ryback versus Luke Harper. The match, it was tolerable. It definitely was tolerable. Like I said, it was like out of the 3 matches that came made for these guys, this one was actually the most entertaining because you got 2 guys who are trying to be trying to get up, like Luke Harper. I mean, by God, that guy, he needs a push like drastically. And like Ryback, he gets the win, of course, with the Shell Shock, which is definitely exciting. Now, as far as Ryback getting a push, to me, I would say he was getting a push if he was the one to actually win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania instead of the Big Show for some goddamn reason. Yeah, like I said, it just would be more believable for me if Ryback was getting the push if he would have just won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania, which is why I still don't know why WWE put the trophy on Big Show when Big Show at this point in his career, he is just jobbing just to make younger guys like Roman Reigns and Ryback look good. I mean, I guess they had to like throw him a bone or something like that. They just had to like throw him a bone, like get like this is what we did for you because we appreciate you for what you've done with our company. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Luke Harper this past Thursday night on SmackDown, he kind of powerbombed Dean Ambrose through a table. And I'm thinking we may get Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose at Extreme Rules. I don't want to see that personally, but yeah, that's beside the point. And of course, moving on, we got to Roman Reigns versus The Big Show for the 1,000th time. No offense to Big Show, but like, I honestly don't want to see Roman Reigns. I didn't want to see Roman Reigns versus Big Show. And this is not a Roman Reigns thing. Like, I am a Roman Reigns guy. It's just like him and Big Show, like you said, they had a few great matches, but the problem I have with this is the fact that, like, yes, Roman Reigns, he beat Big Show once. He doesn't need to do it again. He's proven himself. But WWE likes to go with Big Show just to help a guy look strong. I don't know why they need to use Big Show for everything. Big Show has done everything. He doesn't need to be used anymore. But yeah, Roman Reigns, of course, knew he was going to get the win. Of course, he built some momentum towards the triple threat match in the Monday Night Raw later on the night. My thoughts on Roman Reigns. Here's the thing. Before the triple threat match last night, I honestly thought we were going to get a triple threat Extreme Rules between Rollins, Orton, and Reigns. I thought that would make a lot more sense because that way Roman Reigns doesn't get pushed out the door out of the main event scene so quick. He actually gets another opportunity in a triple threat. That way, if Orton gets the pin, it won't hurt Reigns. And if Reigns gets the pin, it won't hurt Orton. And that way, Rollins gets to retain. But, like, of course, we all know we're going to get Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. But I will get there. I will get there. Like I said, guys, I'm doing the show solo tonight. So let me know how I'm doing and let me know what we need to improve on. Now, of course, moving on from that, there's another guy that I do want to talk about. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. Now, we all know Bray Wyatt, bless his heart. I mean, like, He came back last night after a week removed from his devastating loss at WrestleMania to The Undertaker. And of course, Bray Wyatt, of course, he kept his little his little snick with his promos and everything, and like he basically just like I don't know. I know I'm not the only one out there. Like, does anybody feel like every time Bray Wyatt talks, it's just like now it's just like bleh. I don't care what you say. You have failed me way too many times. Like Bray Wyatt, I like me and Jake have said before. Like I honestly think Bray Wyatt will be fine, even though he lost the WrestleMania. I actually think the WrestleMania match really kind of put Bray Wyatt over more as a star than his match with John Cena last year. But the one issue that I have with this because like Bray Wyatt, he comes back after that loss, and all of a sudden he's moving on to someone else after he just lost to the Undertaker. It's like that did not affect him as the new face of Fear, and we all know what the result of that match is gonna have. Like, where does Bray Wyatt go from here? I'm asking that question to you guys. Where does Bray Wyatt go from here at this point? Because it's like honestly, like I said, I think he will be fine. The problem is I don't know who he could feud with, like legitimately. I don't want him feuding with Roman Reigns. I don't want him feuding with Ryback because there's no point to that. And plus, even if he did have to feud with them, he just get buried again. It's like Bray Wyatt's character. It's good to the point you can build him to rivals, but when it gets to the payoff, like the last match or whatever, he just falls off the freaking crapper. It's like WWE, the creative team, have screwed up Bray Wyatt in so many ways. He honestly really could have been the next Undertaker. I legitimately say that right now. Bray Wyatt, he really could have been the next Undertaker. But since WWE Creative screwed him up, where does Bray Wyatt go from there? I'm asking that question to you guys. Anyway, moving on, it was Sheamus versus Mark Henry. Of course, Sheamus, he made his little return last week, the night after WrestleMania, by attacking Dolph Ziggler. By the way, I think we're going to get Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler at Extreme Rules. We make it that, just for a side note. Now, like, Sheamus, his whole heel thing, his song, it definitely works. I like it. It definitely works with his kind of character. Much better than, like, saying, like, too many lines, too many lines. I mean, like, what the heck is that? Like, seriously, get a theme song that actually works for you. But I do not like the look at all. I mean, Sheamus, he was like, you look stupid. You look stupid. That's what I say to Sheamus every time I see it. Because, like, honestly, he could have kept his old look. I mean, he was like, oh, back in 2009 or 2010, he still had the hair. I don't know. He may have gone through some identity crisis or whatever, but maybe lost his hair. Like, yeah, he gets on the mic. He's cutting a promo. I honestly did not understand it because it's like, I think he kind of messed up because it's like he's talking about guys, and one of the guys he talked about was Dolph Ziggler. I actually thought he was going to face Dolph Ziggler, and he wasn't even there. In fact, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan were not at Monday Night Raw last night, which is why that show sucked. We had a lot of filler people. Yeah, and as far as his run as a heel, I'm gonna give it a chance. I really will give it a chance because, like Sheamus, I mean, guys, honestly, Sheamus, he's been a heel for like 3+ years now, and it's like I think it is time for Sheamus to get back to where he was before. Like a lot of people think that Sheamus is a bad in-ring worker, like he doesn't expand his moveset enough. He's never been a slouch in the ring by any means necessary. He's always been great. But like it's like even when he was world champion, it was like always he was missing. So like you gotta wonder like why they put him in the world heavyweight title scene and not the WWE title scene back in WrestleMania 28. Because when Sheamus won his first 2 WWE championship runs, he actually was a legitimate WWE champion at the time, and I think he could get back there. I'm not off the Sheamus bandwagon yet, but we will see where that goes. And he got the victory via the Bro Jack. Yeah. And of course, like This was another match that was advertised throughout the night, and I honestly think this match was so underplayed. Damien Mizdow versus The Miz. Yeah, I kind of figured this match was going to be the main event because this match started at 10:45. People at the 10:45 mark, where the main event is supposed to be. I knew that triple threat match was probably going to be bad and not last long. But yeah, that's a Miz and Mizdow. Like this match, for the amount of build that we got from Mizdow and Miz, I'm actually kind of glad they didn't do it at WrestleMania. If that was if we got that match last night at WrestleMania, I would have not wanted to see it if I knew it was going to be like that. Because it's like for a rivalry and for a story that builds so much between Mizdow and Miz, the tension, like Mizdow being mistreated so much by the Miz, like you figured that match would have been great. There would have been like great storytelling to it, but it's like they just treated it like it was another jobber type match. Like, and the match only lasted 3 minutes. I would have given that match at least eight, because like they put so much passion, so much storytelling between Miz and Mizdow. I just kind of felt like when we got to the match, it was just like, nah, it's just there. I hope we do get a rematch between Miz and Mizdow for something better at Extreme Rules. But like Mizdow getting a push, I'm gonna ask this question to you guys. Do you think Mizdow will get a big push and will he be fine when this whole Miz angle is over? Because you really gotta wonder, like, will Mizdow's thing like gimmick work once he breaks away from the Miz? Because like he comes out to his entrance theme already. Like, what can he possibly do on his own after he gets done with Miz? Because the only thing I can really see is like him going back to Damien Sandow. That's really the only thing I can see. Like maybe I kind of probably would have liked to see the Damien Sandow probably come back. That would be interesting considering like, yes, I'm back as Damien Sandow, the the savior of the unwashed masses, the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses, Damien Sandow. I would have liked to see we would have got that back. Maybe they can do something with that if they decide to go along with it, but I doubt. Like I said, as far as a Mizdow push, I am concerned. Like I said earlier, we've been in a situation before where WWE they do something and they don't follow through with it. Look at Curtis Axel, for example. Like they got like Curtis Axel, like I said, bless his heart. He is trying so hard to get over with this gimmick that's from like 1980, maybe even further than that, and he's got Axelmania. Axelmania is running wild on you. And I'm like, this guy's hilarious. And he is that type of jobber that has gotten himself over, but he's still a jobber. Like WWE doesn't have like any real use for him. I just hope the same thing doesn't happen with Miz now, because I honestly think he can get over like crazy. But yeah, moving on that. And we finally got to the main event. The triple threat match determined the #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules. Roman Reigns, Ryback, Randy Orton. Now, everybody and their mama and their father knew that Randy Orton was going to win that triple threat match. Bottom line. Which is why I don't think the triple threat match should have happened. I mean, honestly, it probably should have just been a situation where, like, maybe if Randy Orton, like, if he beats, like, one of the members of the Authority, or heck, why not a gauntlet match? Like, why not have, like, or maybe a handicap match, but, like, a triple threat match that kind of looked like that we already saw Orton was going to win doesn't seem believable to me. I saw right through it. We all saw right through it. The match, I'm not going to say it was bad. It was entertaining. I actually thought a match like that should have probably went on like a little longer, if that makes sense. But I didn't like the fact that the Authority came down again. The Authority came down again. They tried to do a little schnick. Roman Reigns, Big Show cost Roman Reigns the #1 contendership. He beats him with a knockout, and Ladies and gentlemen, there's a possibility we could be getting Roman Reigns versus Big Show at Extreme Rules. Yeah, I know. We do not want to see that again. I mean, seriously, like, why? Like, why do, like, if we do get this match, like, why do Roman Reigns versus Big Show again? I want that to end. I really want that to end. We all want to end. Yeah, and, Randy Orton, of course, he hit the RKO. Like, there was a lot of shenanigans going on. Like, Danger Security kept getting involved. Big Show, like I said, got involved. Kane got involved a bit. Seth Rollins, he got into the match. Randy Orton was about to do the DDT, and then chaos just ensued. And Randy Orton hit the RKO on Ryback, and he got the 1, 2, 3. And there's your number one contender. Randy Orton, of course, like my man Seth Rollins loves to do, he hits the curve stop to the Viper, making a statement at Extreme Rules. I will lose my WWE World Heavyweight Championship, so I better cherish it while I have it. No. I honestly think Rollins will probably retain, but yeah. And that was the end of Monday Night Raw. There is another thing that I do want to talk about that I probably missed. Millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. Yeah, it was the primetime players, if you haven't noticed, guys have been making fun of like the New Day. And they made fun of the Ascension, which was so hilarious last night. The primetime players, they are getting noticed. I probably, if they would have done this like as soon as they got back together, I would be more enjoyable to this. But just because they're now doing this after like 2 months after they got back together, and they've been having random filler matches on main event and superstars against tag teams, not being featured on Monday Night Raw, I just don't think it carries a lot more weight because it's now I do not watch superstars. I watch a main event from time to time, but definitely not superstars. But like as far as like they're concerned, that type of stuff, like I needed to see them like compete because I haven't actually got to see them compete in a tag team match ever since they gave the Ascension their first loss. And to me, that's a huge thing. And like as far as the tag team division, the Lucha Dragons, I love the Lucha Dragons. In case you guys don't watch NXT, the Lucha Dragons were NXT Tag Team Champions, and they dominated for the last 6 months until they lost the titles to Buddy and Murphy. Yeah, so I definitely can see possibilities for the Lucha Dragons as long as they are booked right. That's the key. We actually have to put faith in WWE to book them properly. Like we have to. Otherwise, we're not gonna get a chance to. Here's the thing. I honestly think we will get Tyson Kidd and Cesaro defending their tag titles against the Lucha Dragons at Extreme Rules in a tag team tornado match. We may get that. Otherwise, we're gonna see those two lock up at Extreme Rules either way. So yeah, definitely from that. Let's see if I missed anything from Monday Night Raw. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think I think I basically covered everything. Now, like, I do have one thing. I do have another thing to say though. Like, the show, my overall thoughts on the show. I don't know what it is, but it's like, of course, we all know that the national NCAA like basketball finals was that night, last night on Monday Night Raw. I don't know like what it is, but it's like every time we have a big event like that that we're trying to compete for, it's like WWE they just drop the ball. And we're like, yeah, we'll just give this episode away for free. It's like they don't. It's like they don't like to compete when it matters. It's like the only time they compete is when they're naturally not trying to beat somebody else, and they just keep saying like Monday Night Raw was the number one show watched on USA for like the week or Friday night, even Thursday night SmackDown. They do the same thing with that show too. It's like they don't like to compete when it matters. It's like they do their stats and their words for talking, but anytime they get a big event like that, they just drop the ball and they're like, okay, we're just gonna hide for this night and then we'll come back next week strong. Next week we are live from London, England, I believe, and we always get good shows in London most of the time, so we're gonna be looking forward to that. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, hopefully my man Jay, he will be back next week. This has been CNJ Wrestling Talk. Like I said, leave your comments after you watch this video. Let me know how I did, and let me know what me and my friend need to do. As far as I'm concerned, peace out.